Next we have of DefineAmerican, Jose Antonio. But before you start, there's going to be a film.
I actually think I'll probably.
You want to talk first?
Yeah, I think I want to talk first.
All right.
Because that's probably better to
The
intro
Millennials are changing the program again. Film.
I gotta say, by the way, I don't think I'm a millennial because you have to be born 1982, and
I think it's 79.
Is it? I'm 81, so I heard it was 82.
You're right. You're good.
Whatever. I
You're
don't
good.
But it doesn't. I mean,
for today.
You're like in this blurring of the lines. Okay. Yeah. So after about 12 years as a journalist for like the Washington Post, the New Yorker, the Huffington Post, I decided to come out about being undocumented, and decided that when I was going to do this, how do I do this, you know, after spending 12 years of my life writing like 900 news articles, so I didn't have to like write my own story. How do I like use now a very personal story to impact a larger issue and impact an issue that doesn't just concern me? And you know, there are 11 million of us, and the narratives are different, right? How do you use one story, a specific story, to have a universal impact? So some friends and I, four of us got together and formed this group / campaign / we didn't know what it was, called DefineAmerican, which was using kind of whatever skills I have as a journalist and as a filmmaker to tell stories. And the fact that we are living in this golden age of storytelling, which is really also the golden age of story sharing. I think it's really interesting in the last panel, I mean, every single panelist talked about stories. Right? So using that, and at the same time, using kind of my, you know, as somebody who has spent a decade writing for news organizations, it's really interesting to be now on the other side of this, trying to figure out how you use narrative, and how do you use, now that the lines between advocacy and journalism is really changing. Actually, the last time I went, this is the building where Time Magazine is at. And the last time I was actually here was when we were closing a cover story for Time Magazine that had 36 people on the cover with the headline, "We are Americans, just not legally." And so throughout this 2.5-year process that I've been at, we've synthesized and focused this campaign, this group, to really focus on how do we impact, how do we use media. And to me, I really think that the better phrase is, it's not really social media, it's the me in media. The fact that everybody has an agency, as Jeremy pointed out, there's a me in media. Everybody's telling their own stories, right? So using media and using culture, which for me is how I learned about America. I learned to speak English by mostly watching television, movies. Anna Green Gables and like the Golden Girls, like, was really, really important to me. It was. So throughout this entire time, I've been filming a documentary that was originally going to be Waiting for Superman meets the Dream Act. That was my original conception. Because, you know, I was like, I've done my story, I'm done. And then it changed to something a little more, it's more like An Inconvenient Truth meets like Roger and Me, which is like the best Michael Moore documentary. And the film travels for the past 2 years in Iowa, in Alabama, and also in the Philippines. So I haven't seen my mom since I was 12, so it's been 20 years. So the film actually goes where I can't go, which is the Philippines. But we're going to show you a clip, a short clip of the film in Alabama, which I went to Alabama in October 2011, right after they passed the most draconian immigration law in the country. The state of Alabama, you know, epicenter of the civil rights movement, just passed basically an anti-Brown law. So here's the clip.
A new illegal immigration law that's said to be the toughest in the nation is on the books in Alabama.
The law will allow officials to check the immigration status of students in public schools and give the police new powers to determine whether someone is in the country illegally.
But it goes beyond the legal issue. In part, what happens next to the 4% Latinos in Alabama and to the rest of Alabama's immigrants depends on whether or not this starts being treated in Alabama as not just a demographics issue, but as a civil rights issue.
So can you tell me a little bit about how this has impacted you personally? Like, do you know people who are undocumented?
I do know some people who are undocumented, and I know people who are documented, and it created a level of fear for them. Where, Thomas Jefferson said, "You should never fear your government; the government should fear you." Where this produces.
What you sound like? Just straight up, dude. I've been hearing you all night long.
Yeah.
You sound like garbage.
It sounds like you're doing an impression of Jody Paul.
So you agree with it? So you agree with the
shit
immigration?
huh?
So you agree with the immigration law?
Yes, I do. Get the motherfuckers up out of here. That's what I agree with. Yes.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Get your papers or get out. That's what I agree with.
Please this week.
That's what I agree. You got your papers? You got your papers?
What if I told you I didn't?
Well, then you need to get your ass on then. That's what I'd say.
Okay.
That would be my response.
Yeah.
No, we're not going nowhere. I'm chilling. You shut up.
Quit being a shit ass.
Shut your face.
Don't embarrass me.
So you took the steps necessary to become a United States.
There's no steps.
There is a couple steps.
Like what? There's no steps, man. My mom wanted to give me, I guess, a better life. I was 12, so she sent me to live with her parents in California.
Right.
So I
You went
guess.
there and you live with them. And
Yeah, I lived with them. Then I found out I was illegal, and then I'm like, shit, I better speak English well, or else they're gonna think I'm illegal. I'm gonna work my ass off. Work to the Washington.
so
I've been paying my taxes since I was 18. Been paying my taxes since I was 18.
Well, good.
That's good, man.
That's great.
Thank you.
Good paying
Well,
Social
okay.
Security.
But thing is, though, you gotta. You came over here and you became a productive member of society, right? That's what you did, right?
Everybody wants to be, right? Everybody wants to be.
Everybody does.
Yeah.
Everybody does.
Yeah.
And when you got hordes of people coming over here and they're staying 10 deep in their fucking apartment and they're lowering down, like, I'm a contractor. I'm a blue collar guy.
It's my baby.
I build houses. You know what I'm saying? When you got somebody to put a roof on a house for $10, you got another one that's got to do it for about
Brianna.
$20 or $30.
I own 32 acres here.
And are you born and raised here in Alabama?
Yes, born here and raised in Alabama. I don't farm on the scale that I did at one time for the simple reason that I'm getting older. Paco is the nickname of my Latino worker, and it's a friendship, and he works with me also. I'd rather say he works with me than for me. If I go to Paco's house, his 3 children come hug me just like my grandkids come hug me. That's one of his little son, the youngest one. But I've accidentally erased the others. But Latinos are scared. If they're here illegally, they're scared. If they're here legally, they've got family members that they're scared for. But the idea that if I've got Paco in a vehicle with me, then I'm liable also, and I can be arrested. Well, that's telling me who my friend, the state of Alabama, telling me who my friends can be. I'm a conservative, and I'm a hardcore Republican, but I don't agree with them on this. I think you've got an immigration problem, but this is no way of solving it.